Hi, I'm Emily, welcome to or back to my channel, and today we have a very fun video. You may have watched my Bath bookstore video, and this is a London bookstore video, and I have been really wanting to make this for a very long time. London has some of the best bookstores in the whole world, and I went to a couple of my favourite ones, and I am so excited to bring you guys along with me. So I filmed it today and I'm just going to pop in and out here now that I'm back at home. So it's been a very rainy day and I have been going around to all the bookstores, which is probably the best thing you could possibly do on a rainy day in my opinion. So to begin with, I went to Daunt Books in Marylebone. Daunt Books is my #1 favourite bookstore in the whole world. It is beautiful, it's old, it's very nostalgic for me. I grew up going there a lot as a kid, and it also has such a wonderful curation of books. So I hope you guys enjoy, come along with me, and let's start with Daunt Books.
I'm about to pop into Daunt's first.
I could not believe that I walked into Daunt's and I just looked at the table, because they always have this like table at the front where you can find, you know, new releases, and Daunt's also is so known for having signed editions of books. And so yeah, I walked in on that table. It was Katabasis by Kuang and it was all signed, and I couldn't believe it because I've been hearing about this book for a long time. A lot of my friends love her. I was actually in Daunt's recently with Anahita and she was telling me about Katabasis and how it's set in Cambridge, and I was just like, ooh, I need to read that. So I can't wait to read it. I'll let you guys know what I think. I remember reading Babel right before starting at Cambridge, and Babel's set in Oxford, and then Katabasis has now come out right after I finished at Cambridge.
Guys, I'm in Daunt's, I'm upstairs. This is set in Cambridge too, I'm pretty sure.
There's this really beautiful long room, and at the back of the room is all these tables filled with books from different countries in Europe predominantly, and then you go downstairs and underneath that room is a long room of books from Africa, Asia, Australia, America, and they have these different sections, which I love because I love reading books from different countries. I love reading translated fiction. I love reading very widely, and I love how Daunt gives you the opportunity to find all these books and to be able to explore the world through literature, and I think that's probably the coolest thing about Daunt. They have an amazing children's section as well, which I showed you, and that is very nostalgic to me. I spent a lot of my childhood like hanging out in that area of the bookstore and having a look there, and those are like where I bought my first books I ever read. I remember like choosing books on the weekend with my family, and oh, I just love Daunt's.
Okay, I just went and got a coffee because I'm like really tired today. I'm just gonna go for a little walk, but it started raining, so I need to keep the book dry. So I'm just doing another London vlog meets London book shopping vlog because you guys seem to like that one, and I also really loved making the one in Bath. Does anybody else have this problem when it rains and then you're wearing like baggy low-rise jeans and they just drag on the floor? Because that's me right now. I went into Daunt's, and the first, like, they always have a table by the door, and sometimes they have a signed book in there, and I found like many signed books by my favourite authors in there before. And one time my mum actually even found one by my favourite author on a bookshelf that didn't have like the signed thing on the outside, so you just never know, because that's like such a beloved bookstore that everyone goes in there and they sign books. But this was pretty major because I've been hearing about Katabasis for like probably since the beginning of this year, and I didn't realise it was out. What a good find. So this video's off to a great start. Also, that coffee was so good. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not really the biggest coffee person, but on a day like today, it's kind of like I woke up, it's super gloomy and grey and rainy, and it really feels like summer is very much over. So yeah, I really needed coffee today, and I went to Hagen. Usually I go to Granger's for an Aussie coffee. I've been so excited to take you guys to Daunt Books, but it's always so busy in there, so every time I go it's like really hard to film. But I love it. Also just my favourite bookstore because it's a travel bookstore, so it has books from different regions, and they separate it into these different areas, different continents, different countries. And so it's really cool, and you get to read like very widely. And yeah, I highly recommend having a look. Upstairs is like Europe, downstairs is Asia, Africa and America, Australia. So yeah, hopefully I can do Piccadilly. What time is it? Okay, it's 12, so I'm gonna have lunch with my mum at some point. It's kind of warming up even though it still looks chilly.
I hope you guys like looking at Daunts with me, and if you've been, let me know in the comments. If you haven't been, and if you're going to visit London, make sure you go, because it's like my #1 place that I tell all my friends and everyone who ever comes to London, you have to go here. I've taken so many people to Daunts. Okay, now we're going to head over to Piccadilly and go to Hatchards. Hatchards is quite cool because it claims to be the oldest bookstore in the United Kingdom. It was founded in 1797 in Piccadilly, and then it just moved a couple doors down in 1801, and I think that's where it's been ever since. Like, it's very old. When you walk in you can see it's really ornate and has a completely different vibe to like every other bookstore. A lot more ostentatious and very traditional style bookstore. It's not super big. It has a very curated selection of fiction, of non-fiction, and when you first walk in downstairs, I think it's a lot of non-fiction and biographies. At the back they have like a whole Victorian section. It makes sense because this bookstore's been around since and before the Victorian era, way before actually. I've been reading a lot about late 18th century, early 19th century fiction, and this bookstore's been around since around that time, so it's very interesting to go there, and it feels like stepping back in time. I've been reading Mrs. Dalloway lately, and there's actually a part in this book where Mrs. Dalloway goes to Piccadilly and she walks past the window of Hatchards in the 1920s, and it's really cool because I just went into the same store. So yeah, that's the cool thing about London. It's just so historic and it's so rich and so layered, the history of literature in the UK, and Hatchards is a big part of that. And now we're just going to head up a couple doors on the same road on Piccadilly to Waterstones. And this Waterstones is multiple floors. It's massive. This is another store that I bring a lot of my friends to if they've never been. And anyone who visits London, I'm like, you have to go to this Waterstones in Piccadilly. There's Waterstones everywhere in London. It's the biggest chain of bookstores. And I think actually Waterstones owns Hatchards now. I'm taking you guys to the biggest Waterstones in England, but it's also the biggest bookstore in all of the UK and Europe. So that's pretty amazing. It is actually huge too. When you walk in, you're like, oh my God. So yeah, that Waterstones is massive, and I spend a lot of time in, I think it's like the 4th floor. There's a whole section of like screenwriting, playwriting, essay collections, literary criticism, all of that, and I love that area because it's one of the most well-stocked bookstores in the area, in these like niche areas that I really enjoy and that I've studied and researched and that I needed a lot for my dissertation. And so I've spent a lot of time in there researching, looking at books. Then the fiction is like a whole entire floor, and there's like a YA section, there's all these different sections, but the literary fiction is like you walk in onto the floor and it's literary fiction, and it's amazing. They have so many Fitzcarraldo editions and Europa editions and all of these different publications that are a little bit hard to find, even including Persephone books, which I love because you can't find Persephone everywhere. Their curation of little collections at different times, like their circulating curations, are very good as well. And I've discovered a lot of fiction there, and also often when I'm looking for something in particular and it may be hard to find somewhere, I often find it in Waterstones. However, in all these bookstores that I went to today, I've been reading Jane Austen's Bookshelf by Rebecca Romney. There's this one book that I really want to read, which is Evelina by Frances Burney. Couldn't find it anywhere. I would have been sure that I could have found it in Hatchards, and the only place that I've seen it recently was in Waterstones in Bath. So maybe I'm gonna have to go back to Bath. No, I'll probably just order it online because I really, really want to read that book. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me to this bookstore. Now I'm heading off to lunch with my mum and I'll bring you with me, and I think we may end the vlog there because I thought I would go to another bookstore but it started to just rain a lot and I needed to get home. So here I am now, but I will be filming more. What I realized is I think I need to make another video in London. Maybe we'll make a little series. Well, already the bookstore tours are turning out to be a series on my channel that I hope you guys are enjoying, and I'm going to film more of these in the future for sure. I have plans to do ones in Oxford and Cambridge, but they may have to wait a little bit longer, and I 100% will do more in London because there are just so many bookstores, but these three are three you absolutely must visit, and particularly I've spent a lot of time in Daunt and Waterstones. They're such favourites of mine.
Sun is hitting my face, I'm unfazed, I need this. Calling out my name, say me, cities away. Now I go under, hold my breath and flow. Trust the current takes me safe for sure. Now this is my remedy, let the seas sway with me, we're getting my energy, let the seas sway with me.
I'm with my mom now.
I go under, hold my breath and flow. Trust the current takes me safe for sure. Now this is my remedy, let the seas sway with me, we're getting my energy, let the seas sway with me, my remedy, let the seas sway with me, getting my energy, let the seas sway with me.
So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Thank you for watching. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see next and what you've been reading and what your favourite bookstores are.